Well, if you're anything like me, you've got more than one piece of equipment on your property and you're pretty handsome. So you'll go out to mow your lawn, or you'll go to jump on your tractor or your side-by-side, and of course it's dead. What do? You reach for a jump box and ensure your lovely wife that you only have eyes for her. There's a lot of jump boxes on the market out there, and they're all crap. Just junk. I think we should actually call them what they are, junk boxes. Seems like it takes forever to charge them. If you get the lithium versions, the cables fall off because they can't handle the amps that go through them. Unlike my chiseled features, most of these things are made in China. And if they're not made in China, the battery likely is. I just got tired of messing around with all these. I'm making my own. Well, I'm cobbling together my own. This is not like some fantastic super build. This is a hack job because I need to start my truck. Normally when my Cummins doesn't start, I'll just take some Dyneema and wrap it around like the crank pulley and then just give it a quick, shoulder jerk from about right here and fire it up, because I'm very strong. That's not going to work this time around because I'm all out of Dyneema and all I have is paracord, and I can break paracord real easy. Yeah, so let's just get right to the video and you'll see what I'm up to. I bought this from Matco Tools about 10 years ago when I had a shop, and about 2 weeks after I got it, it failed and it quit working. And then our Matco guy failed and quit his job, and I ended up moving. And so I never got it repaired, which is a shame. But the fact that this thing went out right away, I was so frustrated with it, I just put it in storage. You can see it's all covered in dust and dirt. And I set it away because I didn't have the confidence that even when this thing was repaired, that it would be worth a damn. You can see the dirt daubers clogged up all the holes. We have mice chewing on stuff. Pretty bad. I got a feeling some wires are going to hold us back. Oh, the mice might have made it in. That's hilarious, right? Let's see what it is. It's 12 volts, 1.25 amps, but it says 5 amps max. It's kind of weird. Combination of feed and pull. Ha! Yeah, that was never happening. It's got a zip tie on it. Okay, and we got a little room. This terminal was actually loose, so this one was tight. That could have been the whole problem right there, is that was loose. So let's get this on the charger. I seriously doubt, because this is a Jinhong storage battery from like 10 years ago. So I doubt we're going to get anything out of this. It's been dead for a long time, but we'll hit it with some power and see what happens. Positive, positive, negative, negative. Let's see here. 0.04 voltage. 0% charged. Today's project is brought to you by Mr. Cool DIY Mini Split Systems. Heat or cool your house with a Mr. Cool Mini Split unit and install it yourself. Okay, taking a look inside, everything looks good until I look right here. The actual wire going to the power button itself is, it was clamped in here. They didn't secure this, so it was sitting right here, and it was tightened hard enough to bend this. I'll get you a close-up. It actually bent the plastic, and then it completely smashed this wire. That's the problem right there. So look how flat that wire is. Let me rotate it for you. There you go. Now you can see, kind of. You still can't see. There you go. It's paper thin. So yeah, our wire's broke right there. I bet if we just peel that away, we can just disconnect the wire. That caused a very expensive jump box to just not work anymore. Easy fix. I probably should have taken it apart a long time ago, but I didn't, because I was busy. I've got a bunch of batteries for the kayak build, and that battery pack build is coming up, and this is a good teaser for that. So this will help you guys out if you've got these batteries and you want to learn how to build a pack. I'll show you how I'm going to do it. And this component has to go. I'm going to charge them with my RC charger. It actually will charge way faster than this is capable of charging, and this would be dangerous because there's no overcharge protection for lipos on this. We'll go ahead and pop these screws out and disconnect those two charging wires. USB, or this very well could be, yeah, no, this will be a regulator, so it will regulate the current in this guy. So no matter how much power it has coming from the battery, this is regulated down, so to like maybe, X amount of amps. Oh, look at that. This thing just fell right out of there. Who assembled this? This is terrible. Like, that's not even crimped on. I can slide it right back in. Gosh almighty, man. That could be it too. That's another failure point. Okay, anyway, we have a little thermal switch here. So what happens is, as power is going through this, if it gets too high, if it draws too much amperage, the heat will actually come across this piece of metal right here, and it's got a little set of points on it. And when it heats up, those points will open. And that's it. Pretty neat, man. I really like that. Very simple regulation. I would have thought it would have been, you know, I don't know, maybe keep it simple, stupid, I guess. I wish Matco made better tools. Obviously, this was probably made for Matco in China, but... So these batteries come in a case like this, and you just pop them apart, and then your positive and negative terminals are right here. So that's your positive, and then this over here is your negative. Now, as you can see, I'm working on a metal table, so I'm going to have to put down some wood, something non-conductive, because if I set this down without this tape on there, we're going to be dumping 200 amps directly into my table if we short this battery. Actually, I think some guys did some videos on this. It ain't 200 amps, it's more like 500 amps. But, okay, so we can fold this over like this, back on itself, and then I've got a bunch of Kapton tape, and we can start assembling packs and then coupling the positives and the negatives together. We have some at 3.48 and some at 3.50. That is actually close enough for me to go ahead and attach these together. If it was 3.3, we would probably have an issue. 3.48, that's not enough. Like, it's really not enough to matter. So we're just going to go ahead and connect them together. I don't even have to charge them. We've got these little edges right here, and what we can do is just take those, put them on the edge of the bench, fold them over like that, and then we can tape them with some Kapton tape. That's a better way to do it. There's a YouTube channel called Jehu Garcia, and he handles all this kind of stuff and does a lot of lithium battery builds. And this is what he uses. So this is an eyelet plier kit. Now what this is going to do is give us a mechanical connection across here. Because we're drawing a lot of amps, I'm not just going to put 2 of these. I'll probably end up putting 4 across. That way it gives us a better bite on the mechanical connection. But the grommet should do a good job. Other than maybe an accidental short circuit, which is why no one else gets to use this but me, and we're not putting a protection circuit in there, it's just going to be raw power. Other than that, this thing will never dump full power. I mean, we're talking maybe 300 amps come out of this, and that's like rare. So here's the tool, and you're going to punch holes right here. You can see it's got a little punch right here at the top. And after you're done punching the hole, then you put a grommet on there and you grommet it together. So we know we want to go negative, positive, negative, positive. So I need to kind of hold these two together and make sure that they're lined up. And I'll do that by holding them sideways like this, setting them sideways, and then we're going to come in and punch our first hole. Now this has a depth gauge as well. You can adjust this depth gauge to where it's even on every one. Easy. Cuts right through there. Alright, put our grommet in the middle hole. Perfect. I believe this goes this way. Squeeze it. And now we have a connection. Solid, not super solid. I think what I'll do is after I put them together, I'll give it a little tap with a hammer. Okay, I'm just going to flatten it out a little more. Alright, that's what we got. And it's a very secure connection. I feel good about that. Now if we want trouble, we can just take this off and take this off and touch those together. That would be bad. So let's protect ourselves. We have to put our tape back on. Right there. And then we just take one positive off. And then we take one negative off of a new battery. And negative, positive. If you're afraid, give it a little tap. It's not going to blow up on you. So we're going negative, positive, negative, positive. Take her. Okay, we're connected there. And I'm just kind of making sure that I'm being very careful, noticing like which one is which. Like, am I putting positive and negative? That's very important. We come to connect all this together, we would have a significant problem. All right, raise her up. The more I think about this and what it's used for, the more I'm realizing that I actually don't need this many batteries in there. I could use these in a different project. This thing is capable right here of putting out 800 amps, right? And your battery may be at 10 to 12 volts, you know, somewhere in there when it's low. And I think this is going to work fine with just this small tiny pack right here. This has so much more power than the original pack. Now that we've got the pack connected, really all we have to do is wire together the balance leads. And then I got a couple of copper bars that I'm going to use for my main connections for the positive and the negative side. So I just drilled out some holes in those, and we'll attach them with the same eyelets. That way we know we have a good, strong connection. Or at the very least, we can pretend that we have a good, strong connection. Beautiful. Just overshoot that. Get that straight because of reasons. Bring it back around. Smash it all down. Like butter. Okay, there we go. There's our battery completed, with the exception of a couple of holes we have to drill just to clamp everything to. Remember when I told you this was a hack job? Well, that refers to my camera skills as well. I somehow lost the audio on this section. Not really a big deal. Essentially all I'm doing is connecting a charging wire, which is a positive and negative, and then the balance leads. If you go back a few frames, you'll see the wiring diagram. Take a look at that. And then we're connecting the positive and negative leads to the positive and negative of the battery, and those go out to the jump box leads. Since I'm just throwing this together, the wires just come out of the back. Maybe I'll glue them in later. I really just don't care. I just want this thing to work now. So if you're not familiar with the channel and you're like, wow, this guy's a total hacking this thing together, yeah, I am on this particular project, but definitely go check out some of the other videos where I'm actually, you know, doing stuff that I love. Now let's see if this thing will start a dead Dodge 2500 with a Cummins. All right, she's totally dead. Nothing happening. Let's hook up the jump box. I got to work through a bunch of different issues because this truck's about to get like a huge makeover. So let's hook her up, see what happens. Huh, no problem. All right, quickly disconnect. Don't let that fall into the motor. Let's check our charging. $13.63. Okay, we are charging now. Okay, this is Chris Rollins. This is what he's working on right here. How fast is this motor on a go-kart?
71.
71 miles an hour. This is a Ghost Power Sports, all modded out, like ridiculously powerful stage.
I modded this out.
Yeah, I know.
I modded this out.
But this thing has 750,000 horsepower, and it's going to go into that. your pulleys are bigger than your wheels, bro. Yeah. That's hilarious. Go check out Chris's channel if you want to see this thing pulling wheelies. Yeah. Or if you ever want to see him again.
Yeah. Maybe. Might be your last time. Might be your last chance.
I am super duper impressed with the power coming off of that jump pack now. I mean, it started this truck 4 times when it was completely dead, and it cranked it, I don't know, 10 to 12 times for long periods of times. And I guarantee you, it would probably start this truck at least 10 more times before it dips down into any level that I would be concerned about it. So I kind of threw that one together for myself because I kind of like tinkering. I like plugging it in and checking the level of the batteries. But for those of you that don't want to do it, just put a battery management system on there. I'll be building another one soon with that system. And I may give it to Stephen Cox to test out on some of the stuff he works on because he's working on massive systems, so it should be cool. I can even make a 24-volt unit. Might be pretty neat. Really got to clean out my shop so I can take advantage of my Mr. Cool and like work on this truck inside, but it'll be fine. I'll do that and wait for parts. All right, guys, we'll see you next round.